Hey, it's Jay, and welcome back to Tears of the Kingdom. Now, I know I said we were going to do a little bit of shit in Atino, but I completely forgot that I had other plans for what to do for the first stream this morning. We're going to ride a dragon again. Farosh is right over there. We're going to hopefully catch up with her and farm a couple of Farosh horns. Yeah, like she's not that far away. I thought she looked like a bit in the distance, but she's close enough. Should probably put my bloody thunder helm on though, so that she doesn't just electrocute us and kill us. Here's hoping we actually can catch her. It looks like she's well within reach. They don't move very fast. I don't have as concise of a topic to talk about this time while riding Farosh as I did for Dinral, but I do have a few things that I kind of want to discuss. I'll wait till we actually get on the dragon though, I think. Yeah, because she's still a little bit of a ways away. I think we are gonna reach her, but it's gonna be a bit of a haul. Probably would have faster warped one of the Sky Islands instead of the Sky Tower, but it works still. Can't see her through the cloud though. Yeah, it might have been smarter to just wait at the other Sky Tower for her to get there. I was gonna do that, but I decided to just jump into it instead. I think we're still gonna make it, but it's gonna be a much, much closer ordeal. Yeah, I really should have just waited at the end of Lake Hylia. Okay, so then I'm wondering if Farosh is going to be a faster path than Dinral, because she was like only halfway through the Highlands and she's already about at the middle of the lake. We use up a little bit of our yellow wheel, but we're here, and that's what matters. All right. Now I just need to climb the freaking dragon. Really, I don't actually see any spikes yet. I would have expected to see a few of them. But yeah, Ferocious path is she flies through the Grotto Highlands, and then she goes over Lake Hylia, which we're at now. And then she kind of goes down in the depths and across the sort of island that's by the Grotto Highlands. Here's the spikes. I'm pretty sure their positions are randomized, and there's only 10 or so of them. I think it's 13 maybe on their back at a time. So they can be a little bit tough to spot. And we're going to do basically the same thing we did for Dinral. We want to get up to 4 horns and 2 scales. Although we did just spend scales on, Fierce Deity. So we're going to need even more scales from Dinral, I think. I can't remember. Because the thing is, I don't know if I included the Fierce Deity sets, stuff on my list. Maybe I'm mixing it up with the Tunic of Memories. But, that doesn't seem right to me. Alright. Not you, though. Not the Master Sword. I don't really want to waste durability on that. We're going to use a Soldier's Broadsword. We're just going to get Ferocious Horn. Alright. Ferocious Horn is a much better, perch to watch. Although I guess the rain does make it a little bit hard to see what's going on. But look, there's the geoglyph down there. Oh, right over, the Crab Island. There's that Flame Gleeok on the bridge. Actually, you know what massive missed opportunity was? Since the dragons each cover one of the elements, they really should have just had a Gleeok in each of the dragon's paths. Because if you replace that with a Thunder Gleeok... Well, I guess actually... No, because Farosh passes by... Not exactly, but... They cross pretty close to the Fire Gleeok in the Highlands, too, and then that one. Dinral didn't pass by any Gleeoks, though, and I don't think Naydra hits any. She might have hit the last Flame one. But I don't think she hits any. And actually, this might be a good opportunity. Get a picture of the whirlpool. There you go. We did that for the Korok quest. Convenient. Alright, well, that's good. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is a bit of an odd coincidence, question mark? situation. I don't know how you'd really describe this. So a couple of nights ago, so there's this YouTube channel called Zuli the Witch, and she does like data mining for like the Dark Souls games, Dark Soul, like Dark Souls, Soulborn, Sekiro, stuff like that. And I haven't watched Zuli the Witch in like half a year, something like that. It's been quite a while since I've like tuned into her channel. Well, a few days ago, I was like recommended a video of hers. I think because like RT Game had posted his Sekiro video and I hadn't watched it yet, but I had added it to my watch later. And so like a Zuli the Witch video popped up in my like recommended, and I was like, oh yeah, I haven't watched her in a bit, and that's like a new one. I'll go ahead and check it out. And I clicked on it, and it had freaking Breath of the Wild music. And of course, I had watched Zuli's stuff before I had ever played Breath of the Wild, and so I never noticed Breath of the Wild music in her stuff before because I just did not know what to look for, what to expect. And so like I had like no idea that that was a thing. And so I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I recognize this sound now. That's very interesting. And I just kind of like, why am I falling off? Was it because of the rain? Is the rain washing me off? The rain might be washing me off. Hopefully, Link will stick. Now I've got it at a grip point. But yeah, there's Breath of the Wild music in a Zuli the Witch video, and I was like, huh, I didn't know she used Breath of the Wild music. Of course, I couldn't know because I haven't played Breath of the Wild yet, and I wouldn't recognize those tracks. And I thought in the back of my head, I wonder if there's any more of her like stuff and other things. Well, then like a day or two after I watched that video, I watched RT Game's Sekiro video, and then like a day or two after that, or maybe it was like later in that day, something like that. I brought it up while playing Tears of the Kingdom. I brought up that I'd finally like seen playthrough of Sekiro. And in that, I like called out like Zuli the Witch. I haven't watched in a while. I should go check her out. So the night after I finished that stream, I just went on and I binged basically every single Sekiro video that Zuli the Witch had ever posted. And a good like half of them used Breath of the Wild music. There was like the Korok Forest theme. There was the Kakariko Village theme. Those are the two that she used like the most often. But yeah, just a lot of Breath of the Wild music. And then I meant to talk about that like yesterday when I streamed yesterday, but I completely forgot. So I thought that would be a good like introduction to this. Another thing I think is probably worth talking about is I've been debating whether or not I want to get more amiibo. Because the thing is, there are two amiibo that I've had my eye on for a while now. The Guardian amiibo, just because as an actual figurine, it's super freaking cool. And the Wolf Link amiibo, because that's like the other amiibo where I know there's kind of an exclusive thing in this game for getting it. Or at least I'm pretty sure, because in Breath of the Wild, you could get the Link Wolf as like a companion. And so I'd imagine that's still here in Tears of the Kingdom. And that's like a gameplay feature that I never really got to play around with in Breath of the Wild. And so I would like to play around with it in Tears of the Kingdom, if at all possible. The problem is those two amiibo are also two of like the most expensive amiibo. They are very pricey, and I think I can probably afford one of them, but it's also the Christmas season, so I kind of want to spend that money on Christmas gifts. And in addition, like just because of shipping times, if I ordered one now, it would probably get here before we've 100%ed Breath of the Wild, or Tears of the Kingdom rather. But there's still going to be like that much to do in the game. And so that's one of those things that I'm tossing around is like, do I want to get another amiibo? I'm not really sure. I don't really think that I do, but it would be cool to get another one. And so I've been considering it, but don't hold your hopes up for anything because it's probably not going to happen. Sorry. And those are like the two things that I immediately like in my head that I wanted to talk about. So now I'm not sure what I want to talk about. I think instead of having a central theme like I did for the Dinral one, I think I'll just kind of throw out whatever the hell's on my mind, perhaps. Speaking of Hell of a Boss just released like a music video. This is like a week or two ago now. I say just released, a week or two ago. It was pretty freaking good. They made a music video for Stolas based on a fan song, of all things. I say of all things. They'd done it before. But yeah, someone wrote a fan song about Stolas, and so they got the official voice actor for Stolas to come in and sing a cover of the song, and then they animated a full-fledged music video to it. And the music video is actually very pretty. Stolas' songs were some of my favorite from the show in general. But like animation-wise, this one is like really on like a whole nother level. I do think that like just because of like visual spectacle, I think that the solo song with the least interesting animation is probably Owl in a Cage, because that's just him singing in his room, and so it's a very personal song. But like the other two have like all of the star and moon and planet imagery, and it's just very pretty. Big bone. Oh, I thought there was a big bone there that I had missed somehow when we were here before, but it's just Farosh's ear. There are depths Aracuda. I'm still so low on Aracuda eyes. I don't know if I still need 18, because I think we've spent more of the upgrades, but I've only got like 6. So even if it's not 18, I am very far behind. Big roots. I'm sure there's some lore for like the roots in the depths and why the light roots are what light up that we haven't found yet. I guess we're still missing like half of the Yiga schematics, and so maybe the other Yiga clan things talk about them, at least like a little bit of a degree. But I still think it's surprising that we haven't found like the lore ourselves for that, because I imagine there's got to be some. Just thought for a second that maybe this was Frank's territory. It looks a bit like a Frank zone, but I don't think it is. Too close to the Zonai devices. Nah, I don't think it is one. Oh, and also the monster camp. Although sometimes these things have been closer than I expected them to be, so maybe it's still there. But yeah, but back to Hell of a Boss. It's got a sister show with Hazbin Hotel, and that is actually coming out next month, and they dropped the first trailer for it. I do have to say, like, again, I don't know how much I'm going to spoil, because I don't know how much like people are familiar with any of these shows and how much they do and don't want to know. But there is like an interesting element of the trailer where it's like the fact that it's in the trailer has me a little bit concerned, and I'm sure people that have seen like the pilot will know what I'm talking about. But the trailer puts a lot of emphasis on the extermination and the extermination coming up soon, which I think is a little bit weird. Because if the extermination is episode 1, that would be like a very, very like too strong of an intro to episode 1. That wouldn't really give you time to really connect with the characters of the world or anything like that. And if the extermination is the finale, the series finale of season 1, not series finale, the season finale of season 1, then putting it in the trailer kind of gives that away. We kind of expected it, but now we had like more of like an idea of when and how it's going to happen, which kind of ruins the ending a little bit. It's the same problem that a lot of movie trailers run into, where they just show you like the last fight scene of the movie, and it's like, well, now what's the point in seeing the movie? But then also, if the extermination happens like halfway through the season, that would just be awkward pacing. Whereas that wouldn't like super duper make sense. So I don't know what like route they are going to ultimately end up going for, but it's still a little bit odd in the grand scheme of things. Very like root and cliffy area, which makes sense because there's like a lot of water in Lake Hylia, and so there's lots of big pillars and walls. I think we've officially like gone past the rock that actually conceals the lake, and it's only been 13 minutes. Maybe Farosh does have a 30-minute path. Maybe each of the dragons just has a different length path, and it's just whoever made that guide used Farosh's as like a benchmark, and then just didn't actually pay attention to Dinral and Nydra's, because Nydra travels like a pretty like Nydra actually, I'm gonna call it now. I think Nydra's probably gonna be a halfway point, because Nydra goes a little bit longer in the overworld than Farosh does, but a little bit shorter than Dinral, and they all fly like roughly the same distance in the overworld and the depths, and so I would not be surprised at all if they were the same. Oh, there's actually, I think that that is a frog zone over there. I don't know if we'll be able to see it when we're passing over. I'm pretty sure we fought this one. Maybe we haven't, though. Mr. Franks? Are you there? Hello, sir? Maybe not. Maybe Farosh is too high up for it to load in, which actually would be a good thing, because given like the Ferox's like detect range and attack range, I wouldn't be surprised if they could sense you on top of the dragon. Oh no, there it is. I don't know if they'd like try risking jumping at a dragon though. Because like, especially because I'm standing on the dragon's horn, you think that realistically it would not be able to see me. And it would not want to engage a dragon just for a morsel of this size. That would be a bit silly. Yeah, it looks like it's ignoring us. What kind is it though? Oh, it's just regular. Oh, and I don't have a regular. Oh well, that would have been a good opportunity to take the freaking picture of it. Not a great picture, but we have better pictures of the obsidian and white blue, so that's fine. We forgot that we didn't get a regular Franx picture. I think I'd comment on that every time we fought like a Franx, when we were exploring the depths, where I'd like kill one and then I'd be like, oh wait, shit, I need to get a picture of that. And then I just didn't. Which, oops. Also very interesting to point out, like the lightning bolts are still coming out of Farosh. But it just kind of occurred to me, no lightning strikes have happened since we hit the depths. And like the little image in the bottom right says that it's sunny weather. So Farosh like summons like a lightning storm around her when you're on the surface world, but not in the depths because of course there's the cave ceiling. You can really like fit a storm cloud in here. This is kind of interesting. Oh, there's Colgera. We've killed that Colgera though, which I think it means we killed that Franx because I remember fighting a Franx nearby this Colgera, but maybe not. Are we really that far south? Huh? Yeah, we are. Oh, we aren't past the lake yet. Oh no, we just went past like a bit of the lake. Oh, okay, we still have a distant way to go. Is that's the mist and the fog effect? Okay, we're so high up that like the mist effect across the ceiling is like cutting off some of the cliff wall over there. That's very interesting. Look at how windy the light root vines are. So it is so cool. Like they just all go straight up into the ceiling, or actually, no, that one goes like straight up into the ceiling. But then look at like that one over there, and it curves a lot, and it looks like it does straighten up at the end, but it's very curvy compared to that one where it's so low down that the curves stop for like the majority of the route. Funny. Oh, there's Labyrinth. That's cool. Actually, we weren't before, but we are kind of hitting a downward area. Maybe we have been because of the Colgera back there. But we're hitting like a divot in the earth. And so that's very like interesting that Farosh follows a ravine on both the surface and the depths. But the ravine is the mountain, is like where the mountain is in the depths, instead because of like the flipped terrain sort of generation. Big ass pillar over there. You see pretty far in that direction. Oh, it's not super far. I can see it decent ways. I mean, I commented before of like one of the things that I loved in Breath of the Wild was how the mountains were used to sort of break up the terrain and like hide off areas, so like the world felt more separated than it actually was. If that makes any sense, that it really felt like you were entering a whole new territory that you'd never seen before each time you cross a mountain or pass through a chasm or whatever. The depths kind of taint that like to the extreme though, because like the rivers and lakes also very much break up Hyrule on the surface. But now they're not just a hill in the depths; they're just a full-fledged wall in the depths, and so there's just a lot of like big cutoffs of what you can and can't see. So it's interesting. Also, I don't know if this is like 100% true fact thing, but it kind of feels like at least that does make it so that the depths are more like cavernous and downwardy instead of hilly and upwardly like the surfaces. Again, intentional parallel on like the developer's part, but still cool. Ooh, are we going towards? I mean, kinda. We're sort of curving down towards that freaking. I commented on it like last stream that like, or I think not last stream. No, it was the one before that. That sort of like chasm that connects the Taobab to the Gerudo Highlands that there's like no reason to go into. We're kind of heading towards that zone. That's kind of cool. Flame Bleox. or not keys. That's a little different. I don't know if I noticed them when we were here before. It's weird though that like the Gerudo land is the lightning territory. There's Colgary, who's the ice boss right there, and in between them there's just a couple of fire elementals. Don't know what that's about. That's a little weird. And I was thinking about it like this morning because I was planning on I planned to like go for Farosh this morning. And I was kind of like thinking about it that this has occurred to me before, and it's occurred to me again over and over again. But I don't think I've ever talked about it. But actually, I wonder how big Colgary is compared to the dragons. She looked pretty similar in size when we were over there. But I imagine she's smaller, at least. I think like the thickness of the Serpentinus is about the same, but then like lengthwise, I think she's a lot shorter. I don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I brought it up on streams before, but I'll bring it up again. I always found it like a little bit weird that for the three elements of Breath of the Wild, you have lightning, fire, and ice. Ice is a counter to fire. Fire is a counter to ice. But then lightning just doesn't have a counter. It's not strong against the other two, nor is it beaten by the other two. It's just there. Which is especially weird because, like, you think about it, and, like, there are only three elements and three dragons, of course, because the Triforce and the three goddesses, everything has to be in threes in in the Zelda universe. But for Breath of the Wild, and this is extended to Tears of the Kingdom a little bit, you have the four, like, races around Hyrule that you have to befriend. And they have their own little like elemental bits and pieces. And so the Zora throwing water into the mix could have potentially like been something of like a water attack damaging a lightning enemy or a lightning attack damaging a water enemy. It's not like as logical as the fire and ice thing, but it's still like tracks. Water conducts electricity, so if you have something made of water and you hit it with lightning, it would get super shocked. And if you have somebody who's coated with lightning and then you splash them with water, it would like fuck up where their charges are going. So like, it's a bit of a shame that they didn't like employ that as a mechanic. Ooh, actually, speaking of lightning and water, I of all things recently I have been getting into Hitman. I've known about Hitman's existence for a long time. I have watched like a decent number of videos on Hitman. I have a close friend who at least used to be like a massive Hitman nerd. I don't know if they are still, but they were at one point. But I never like played the Hitman games myself or super paid attention to a lot of the gameplay videos that I was seeing of it. Yeah, there's the little light. So guys, you the labyrinth. I never like super paid attention to like a lot of like the content that I was seeing for Hitman. But I was like randomly recommended like a challenge video of Hitman last night, and I've watched challenge videos of Hitman too, like occasionally, like, oh, beat them only using a muffin, beat them only using a banana. But I just found like a channel that has like really, really good ones where they've done like a lot of challenge runs. And they're usually about 10-20 minutes long. I just became kind of addicted to them. So now I'm actually starting to learn a little bit about Hitman. I can remember some of the map names, and I can remember some of the target names now, which I like could not for the life of me remember before. I only was really familiar with the game mechanically, not really lore-wise, but I'm starting to pick it up. I don't know if that'll last, though. I'll probably, like, a day or two, I'll be over it, and I'll be on to my next random, out-of-nowhere obsession. Let me see he camped there. I think he'd been to that one. We must have. It's so close to that light route. It'd be weird if we didn't. Oh, is that? I think we might be passing over. Yep, I think we're passing over another Franks territory. Because Dingrel passed by a few like Yiga clan hideouts and a bunch of Talos, but I don't think I don't think she passed over any Frankses. No, wait, no. There's that one Obsidian one. That was like just off of the path though. That like wasn't like really on. Oh, we have too many horns. Oops. I should have gotten a scale there. I thought we only had one when we got on here. But we had more. Actually, how are our scales doing? We don't have any for our scales. Okay, so I'm gonna try and get two of these. No, I'll wait on the horn anyway. It's a good like vantage point, and it will help me tell like when things have recharged. Yeah, there was that one Obsidian Franks that didn't roll past nearby, but I don't think it really passed over the nest. He just passed by like the edge of the arena. That one. Is this another regular? Yeah, it's just another regular. I don't know if we fought this one. Oh, we must. It's really close to the. Well, I could totally see us like when we got the slide route, either getting distracted by the hideout or the Franks and going straight towards it, and then missing the other. That's definitely something we could do. By the way, I know I mentioned it kind of wanted to do this before. I don't know if I'm gonna try and find every single crystallized charge in the depths. I'm mainly saying that just because Zelda dungeon. And it's like, oh wait, we're already at the freaking chasm. I don't want to like drop off a Farosh onto a freaking Can you climb, Link? I don't want to drop off onto a Franks. That would be fucking a pain. That's actually that's a bit sneaky. I mean, we've had that before of like a Franks just under a chasm. But making it so that while riding the dragon, you could fall into the chasm. That's a bit much. It is looking at Farosh. I don't know if it knows. Maybe it does know, and it's just waiting until I'm off the dragon to pounce. That would be spooky as hell. I've discovered the East Gerudo Chasm. Yeah, we've never been down this chasm before. That's interesting. But yeah, I'm sure that there are maps from other sites that I could use to maybe figure this out. But Zelda Dungeon only tracks like treasure chests in general in the depths, not specifically the ones with crystallized charges in it. For some of the things like Yiga schematics, it does like specifically mark out which chests do and don't have those. But for crystallized charges, it just doesn't. And if it's a thing of crystallized charges are in every like mine and named locate, because I know there's one in every mine, there's one in every Yiga hideout, and I'm pretty sure we've gotten all of those that we've been to so far. We're still missing at least one mine, and we're still missing like half the Yiga hideouts, but everyone we've been to, except that one at the end of the, just beneath them, the Hyrule Forest, everyone that we've been to, we've gotten the chests in. So we've gotten all those crystallized charges, but I don't know how many are like in loose places. Like that observation deck, I'm pretty sure that had a crystallized charge in it. So it'd be a bit of a shame to miss that one. But I can't really remember how many others there are, if that makes any sense. How many like different locations actually house them. Because I don't think it's that many, but there's got to be more. And so I don't know, maybe I will like find like a guide of like, oh, here's all of the places that aren't buildings that have crystallized charges in the depths. Maybe I could like hunt one of those down and add those to my checklist, but I'm not positive we're gonna do that anymore. Maybe not. Oh, you can see the flame Gleeok. Can you see the ice Gleeok? The frost Gleeok? I mean, from this angle, no. No, I think it's too far away. I can't tell if I'm looking at the mountain that it's on or if that's Mount Agate, actually. It might be Mount Agate I'm looking at. You see a bit of a crest up there. But it is on, like, the highest point of the Gerudo Highlands. Oh. I want to get on your head to see. It's annoying that I can't, like, climb. I mean, maybe it's just the rain, but I can't really, like, climb Farosh's, like, mane like I can with the dragons. Like, I guess because, like, Dinral's hair was so... and the Light Dragon's hair are both so flat, it felt like I could climb them even though I couldn't. It's just that, like, there was nothing to climb. It was so, like, even on the top. But these guys are not. Oh, there we go. Okay, maybe... I mean, it would be glowing if I could see it. And I don't... Yeah. Because it should be, like, right up there. I think, at least. I don't see it. That would have been... Oh, man, if the chasm was just, like, a little bit closer to, like... Well, I guess there is a chasm over there anyway that they could have gone out instead. But, man, if the chasm was just more centralized, they could have maybe made it so that you could see both Gleeoks and both Highlands at the same time. That would be amazing. But yeah, that's weird. That Farosh just passes by 2 Gleeoks. But then Dinral doesn't pass by any Gleeoks. I'm very curious if Naydra passes by that one flame one, because that's like the only flame one. Although actually, ooh, wait. There is the Thunder Gleeok at Akala Citadel. Dinral doesn't pass like over or next to that one like Farosh has been, but I think you might be able to see that one from Dinral's back. Because you can see a Kala Citadel, but I don't know if a Kala Citadel would like block the view. I don't think it quite would, because it's kind of on like the little southeastern protrusion that's sticking out that kind of overlooks Terrytown. Maybe you can. I didn't notice it if you could. That is a weird like landmark to have though, just the flame of the Gleeok heads over Spectacle Rock. I still didn't look up. I forgot to look up what you have to actually do to get the Spectacle Rock picture. I imagine it's the floating platforms, but if it is killing the Gleeok again, oops. Because we already had to kill another Gleeok for a second time because we didn't like get the quest while we were in the area. It would be a little bit annoying to have to do that again. But I feel like that wouldn't be the solution because, yeah, sure, you're using Spectacle Rock from above, but you're viewing it on top of one of the spectacles. So, like, you're not going to have that good of a shot of it. Which chasm is that, actually? Oh, that's the central one. Interesting that you can see that from here. I guess that does make sense though, because like I don't know if it was Spectacle Rock, but around Spectacle Rock is where Boris perched, and so it makes sense that you can see Hyrule Castle from there. It's just a little bit shocking. Shocking! Ha ha! Hoo hee hoo ha ha hee hoo. And actually, I didn't bring this up before because we were chasing the dragon. But I did put on the cold chest plate for Farosh because I know that even here in the Gerudo Highlands, this does count as being in like the snowy and cold area. And I don't know if Farosh ever peeks down into the warm area of the Highlands, but I still got the the Vo pants just in case. That was an accident having the Vo pants on, but whatever. Falling ruins. Not perfectly following the river, kind of like cutting over this like protrusion of all the Lizalthos. Down there is where we built the car to bring the Korok up the river, upstream. Actually, a decent view of the Taubabs from here. Did the Taubabs drop more wood than normal trees? I can't remember. It makes sense that they would. They're so thick. They're the thick boys. Don't you like them thick? Some people do. Yeah, it has been a half an hour, but we are like almost to where we land. I guess we did land midway through the lake though, so maybe not. We did spend about half an hour in the depths, so maybe it is a full hour for Roche's path. It just felt like she was going through the highlands and the lake really quickly, but maybe her path is just more winding than I gave it credit for. We actually get a great shot of the Great Plateau here. See Mount Hylia. I do want to watch the video on what happened to the Great Plateau, but like I do not know if it's going to spoil the final fight, and if it does, I want to put it off. I want to get to the final fight soon, just so that I can like actually watch some of these Zelda videos that have been popping up on my recommended. Because I think once I've gotten all quests done, like that'd be the point where there's not much to be spoiled. There are definitely going to be some like interesting locations for boss fights that could get given away, or some interesting Korok puzzles, but I think for the most part I should be fine. Once again, like actually, like not passing by the ravine, actually on like the mountaintop here, huh? That's interesting. I never really like paid much attention to that bridge strip heading across it either. Even though I've been to this area a lot, because like there are two of my Lizzle farms right down there. It's kind of cool that Mount Hylia and the Hylia Lake are so close together. You think that you would have given the name Mount Hylia to a more impressive mountain in Hylia, but the tutorial one still might make sense. Those have been forever. I could actually probably rewatch the video that like compared every single version of Hyrule to see where locations were compared to each other. Because Breath of the Wild was kind of like a nice like merging of maps over the years, kind of trying to get all the fit into like one place. And of course, something that they could definitely do if they did do a Breath of the Wild sequel is they could just like open up a little bit of territory to like the north or like the east of Hyrule somewhere, and just like mark that as like just like mark it as like a neighboring country. Because like one thing I do remember from that map video is that it's a pretty like commonly held belief that Zelda 2 is like not in the same like Hyrule as most of the other Zelda games. It's like too big and expansive, and like Hyrule from like the first game is like in the second game as like a small portion of the map. And so it's usually like assumed that Hyrule 2 is like exploring like some of the countries nearby Hyrule. That makes sense? There's that mountain where we got that Korok the lighting puzzle we struggled with forever. Apparently there's actually a gloom spawn down there that I don't know if I just missed or what. Yeah, already breaking off of the highlands. Kind of hard to see like the storm that is always around Farosh. Or is this? Wait, no. Oh no, we're leaving the highlands. We haven't hit the cliff quite yet. The cliff that we glided off to and the gloom spawn are like in this area. Never mind. I saw like a tree and I was confused for a second. Is there a tree? What did I see like right here that looked like a tree from above? What was it? It couldn't have been this. Huh. That's weird. Don't know what that's about. Oh, that's actually another one. Because it's like sometimes Zuli will like go full circle. We're back to the lake, and we're talking about this now. Zuli like usually will pick Breath of the Wild music that's somewhat like fitting for whatever topic she's covering. One that I really liked is that for like the tree boss, the like dragon tree boss in Sekiro, she picked the corrupted dragon theme from when you have to cure Naydra. And I just thought that was like a really cool touch because that's something that I definitely did not pick up on watching that video for the first time. But watching it back now, that's something like I super appreciate. I think it's like very cool. Can you see that? Oh, just barely. Oh, you could just barely see. Yep, there's the shrine. You just barely see that tinge of green on the horizon. It's very cool. And like, it's less obviously a JPEG this time around. I remember that with like Breath of the Wild, it was quite obvious that the Sheikah Towers and I think even the shrines maybe in the distance were just JPEGs, but I think that they're low poly models now. That might still no. That might still be a JPEG actually. That one, because it looked like the lights on the top. Maybe they are. It doesn't look like the lights on the top are really moving though. Oh, they're more aligned now. Maybe that is a low poly model. I'm sure people have like already figured this out of like what's what. Okay, we're back to the geoglyph of the grave. So we're about done here. And yeah, this only took like 40 minutes compared to Dinral's hour. So I don't know, maybe you're worth giving Naydra a shot too, putting Farosh and Naydra in the same stream. I think that'd be a bit of a shame having Dinral not be in the same area, and also I'm not really sure what I would talk about necessarily, but before I forget to do that, it would be nice to get it out of the way. I think we'll wait till we get to the Bridge of Hylia, though, because that's around the point where we jumped on. And maybe Farosh will be recharged by then. I don't think that she will, though. I don't think she's going to be back that quick. It hasn't been that long. So yeah, she kind of spends like a long time in the depths, and it's just barely on the surface, which is weird because like Farosh, it's probably just because we found her so quick. But Farosh always felt like the most prevalent dragon to me. She always felt like the one where you could see in like the most locations, definitely. And so it felt like she was in the air longer than the other ones. So I find it weird that she kind of like just comes up and then dips immediately. And I was about to say, like, even less Skyview Towers, but actually I'm not sure if that's true, because Naydra passes by 3 Skyview Towers. Or no, does she? Because Farosh has one right as she exits and one right as she enters the depths. Dinral has one, like right as he exits the depths, and I'm pretty sure he has one right as he enters. For Naydra, she has one as she exits the depths, one about halfway through entering again. But there's not a Skyview Tower in Kakariko, is there? There's shrines in Kakariko to warp to Kakariko to get onto her path, but like she herself is not there. Okay, this is about the point we jumped on before, and so I think this is the point that we'll actually can check a hero's journey. Yeah, we've been here. Okay, yeah, we've done a complete path on Farosh. So now it's time to do Naydra. Oh no, yeah, there is a Skyview Tower by Kakariko. It's just not like super close. I guess we'll go for Mount Lanaru, because that's one where I'm hoping to catch her and just look there. I'm following the dragons this time instead of going in reverse order, which I don't think is like the smart move. You're supposed to go like opposite direction that they're going. She could also be in the depths right now, in which case it's going to be a little bit harder to get on her, but still possible. I'll go ahead and put on Zan's helmet. That actually doesn't help with unfreezable. Interesting. Or unfreezable does not like count as cold resistance. I actually did not know that. Maybe that explains why I was taking. At least it felt like I was taking so much damage from the other guys. Okay. But I felt like I was taking so much damage from the Frost Blocks because I was relying on that helm instead of like the Snow Quill set. So yeah, the set is better than just the helm. That's interesting. We're going to be on 0 Spirit Orbs forever. I hope that there's something that fills that gap between the batteries and the Spirit Orbs. If there's not, that would be so weird. But there's got to be something that fills that up. I might as well just launch from the Skyview Tower. See if I can see her. No, I don't see her anywhere. She must be in the depths. The problem is I don't really know what her depths path is. Because she exits like here. I think she goes above this thing. I guess we can warp to each of these and see if we spot her, and then we can jump on her in the depths instead. It's going to be a little bit harder to do that, but it's not impossible. Because I feel like that would be a good stopping point, getting on Naydra, following Nydra's path, and then leaving. I just didn't think of something to talk about for another hour, which I don't really have planned, but sure if you pushed me, I could think of something. All right, well, I don't see her here. I think this is the path that she follows. I'm not sure, though. It's supposed to be easy to spot in the depths because they're so glowy, but it's also entirely possible that she just left. That could totally be the case, that she just left the depths as we've been warping and looking around. That's why you're supposed to do them in reverse order, which I didn't. And also, maybe she is in Kakariko right now, and it's just the render distance was too low. I think you can see the dragons, like, because I'm pretty sure I saw Lanaru from that middle tower when I was on. Oh, there she is. Okay. So apparently the way to do this is auto build, and I hope I actually have a thing to do this with. I don't know if I do. Oh god, I don't know if I do. That one might have worked though. Boat. Okay. This should work. She's pretty close. Ah, damn it. Ah, damn. Does she have an updraft that catches you or no? I can't remember if she does. Come on. Damn it, I don't think she does, actually. We might be able to do a little bit of this. I'll try and catch her. If I don't catch her here, though, it's kind of like a lot of zonite to do, but I'm going to try and get on her down here, because I think that's going to save, like, more time in the long run compared to just, Oh, I think we can catch her. I think we can catch her. Oh, no, we're not going to be able to. Come on. Oh, maybe? Oh, yep, there is a bit of an updraft. Yep, she does have an updraft. I thought that they had updrafts. I think Dinral's is just, like, the most pronounced of the updrafts. Okay. We'll try and land on her, just at the very least to pick up some shards while climbing. But yeah. And I guess, like, I was talking about Farosh flying straight over the Franxes. Naydra does, like, fly right over one of the Morgana? What was it? Morgana's not right. Goma. The marbled Goma. She passes right over that one's arena. So I guess there are a little bit of more boss fights. That's weird, because Dinral, you would associate Dinral with being the, like, most dangerous of the dragons, because she's like literally on fire, and she's passing through, like, the lava area that has, like, all of the high range enemies. But, like, in the depths, she's got the chillest path. That's a little bit weird. No. I don't know why it was falling off there. Maybe going just like a little bit too fast. I don't know if you could have I don't know if you could ever get like high. Well, no, you definitely could have gotten like above the dragons in the original. I don't know if you could ever like actually stand on them in the original though. I don't know if that was ever a thing. Can I get? I'm kind of nestled in her crown. I kind of want to get on top of her crown though, so I can get like a good angle of shit. I'm not really. Oh look, and there's a Flux Construct arena over there. So yeah, maybe it is just Dinral doesn't really pass over anything of note. But also I was talking about Bionicle that entire time, and so maybe I just like totally missed it. Okay, we might actually chill more on her main than on her crown, so we can get like a little bit more of a view of what's. Oh wait, no, I need to get a horn. Jesus, what am I doing? Oh well, we're up. Well, we're up. Oh no, never mind. And that should be my second. Yeah. Those libraries are very close. I don't really like. Well, I guess maybe not that close. They're a little close. We just passed by. I think it was the promenade. Yeah. Well, she's actually about to leave just now. We probably could have waited for her. Although it's probably gonna be like 5 minutes. I don't know. They do move a little bit slow. It's a great view though. Pretty mushrooms along the cliff face. Anything else I want to talk about? Well, I guess we mentioned Hell of a Boss before. On the notes of indie animation, Amazing Digital Circus is doing like really, really well. It's only been like 2 or 3 months, and it's already at 180 million views, which I think is pretty cool. There's a lot of indie animation that I just have not gotten around to. I haven't watched Lackadaisy yet. I haven't watched Murder Drones yet. That has been on my list. There's a Yeti camp down there. Have you been to that one? No, we haven't. I don't know how I missed that one. That one's like very close to like a lot of light routes that we're going through. I guess it doesn't really show up on the map, does it? It's kind of nestled and hidden. Oh, and she actually passes right over Flux Construct Arena. Yeah. There must have been some like boss arenas that didn't all pass over that I just missed because I was too busy talking about freaking Bionicle. Did we talk about Lego Fortnite last time? We did. I don't know if I said this or not, but like my like one of like the things that I've said about Fortnite for a while, and I say it like kind of jokingly, but I also do like sort of mean it. Is this is another case of having a boss fight right in the chasm, huh? Was this the first Flux construct we fought? Because I remember the first one we fought in the depths was, not in general, but in the depths. The first one we fought in the depths was like by a canyon. But I thought it was, I'm pretty sure it was a further north one than the Lunario Chasm. So maybe I'm crazy. But yeah, I might have said this when we talked about Lego Fortnite before, but like one of the things that I've always kind of jokingly said about Fortnite is the day I play Fortnite is the day they add a Bionicle as a playable skin in Fortnite. And funny enough, after the like Lego Fortnite collaboration went live, Christian Faber, the like main like creator of Bionicle, he threw together like a little bit of a CGI animation of like one of the Fortnite characters picking up Tahu's mask as like hey Lego, I got some interest in picking up this brand again. The fans have some interest in picking up this brand again. Maybe you can come in, give it a shot. It also looks like Nitra's glowing right now. She shouldn't be though, because we just broke off the horn. She shouldn't be recharged yet. I don't know if I'm gonna like ride the dragons to farm them in the mute streams or not. I kind of doubt it because it's gonna take a long time. But like if I'm at the point where I've only got 2 or 3 dragon parts left on like a specific dragon, maybe I will. I do need to update my list though, because I've clearly got like the wrong counts for dragon parts. I need to fix that. I also need to add the freaking the Zonai dude. I would like to use the Zonai dude a bit more. It's just that like right now their armor is so shit. But I'm sure it will get better. So, like, those depth statues, they mentioned the race in the depths. Like, the dude that Link turns into doesn't really look like any of the Zonai. So is that one of, like, the Depths Walker guys? Was the original hero from the Depths? And is that what they looked like? Or is there, like, is there going to be more lore of them in this game that I haven't unlocked yet somehow? I don't know. I do know that there is a side quest in the Depths, though, that we'll probably do in the later stream today. Because I think I wanted to dedicate this morning to getting the dragons done, but I think that tonight I want to focus on side quests. I want to get as many of them done as possible, including the picture ones. Here we are, Lunario. Easy girl. Feels like she's moaning more than the other 2 dragons did. I don't know if that's just me like not paying attention before, or if she actually is. Oh, there's a light dragon. So yeah, we've seen Farosh and the light dragon in the same place. We've seen Naydra and the light dragon in the same place. I think that we saw Dinwell and the light dragon cross paths. Like, not as close as this, but they were both on screen at the same time at one point. Oh my god, are they gonna kiss? Kiss, kiss, kiss. I never really like super paid attention to it. I do like that the Skyview towers still have like the sort of like bars on the side, kind of like the Sheikah towers did. They're like not as like climbable. I think when you like, get up close to them, they're definitely like boards, not like interwoven stone, but still. Light Dragon is actually like very high above even Naydra here. And I thought Naydra flew quite high because Lunario was a high point, but no, the Light Dragon is still even higher. That's interesting. I don't know if that means anything. Because I know that she normally flies. You have to do like the Master Quartz quest, or else she'll like fly like off the fucking map. But oh, that's kind of cool. It is interesting though, like how many cultures have like their own like versions of dragons. They're like one of the more like universal mythical creatures. With like a lot of mythical creatures, just like a human with animal bits, and so it's like okay, yeah, you can see how like there'd be some similar ones. But like dragons, just the big magic lizards. We just have an obsession with big magic lizards, and I can't blame anyone because big magic lizards, pretty freaking cool. That's pretty ballin'. Does the light dragon's hair glow? It's glowing now. Does the hair dim down when you like trigger the horns, or no? I think the stomach glow does like calm down. I don't think it goes away completely, though. Because yeah, there still is like a slight pulse and glow in the scales. But you think like with a light dragon, well, by definition, it's the light dragon. It should just like constantly be going, but maybe not. She also kind of just like pitches away of Lenaru immediately after coming out of the chasm. That's a little bit weird. Because Naydra was perched on Lenaru in the original, and so like just not having her be there constantly does feel strange. I'm not gonna lie. That does feel like one of those kinds of things where it's like, huh, shouldn't you be there? But I guess not. And that's fine. I actually just noticed that Zant has like an almost Lizalfos-like quality, with the kind of chameleon eyes. I guess like Robbie has the chameleon mask thing too. So I guess that's like not like that weird in this universe, but still. See, that's the problem. I just don't know anything about Zant. That's like one of the bigger gaps in my Zelda knowledge is I just don't know a lot about Twilight Princess. Because Oh, is that a black boss bokoblin with 3 silver and 2 blacks following them? That's very interesting. I do like that, like the scaling. Like Horiblins, we definitely run into this problem a bit, but the scaling in this game is a little bit more complicated than just having like one guy that's max level and like a couple guys that are fixed. Sometimes one of like the potentially quote unquote weaker enemies is the one that gets buffed up, and sometimes the stronger one like stays as a lower tier, and sometimes like 2 or 3 of them tier up, but one of them stops cheering up after a certain point. You know, there's just lots of cool shit like that. Oh, there you are, the last guardian in Hyrule. I miss them so much. Please, Nintendo, add a DLC where we can climb Mount Agate and we find out that there's a secret guardian factory inside of Mount Agate and we get to fight guardians again. That'd be so fucking cool. That'd be so badass. I would literally piss and shit and come. She actually got further south than I thought she did. I guess it makes sense because she like flies by the like mountain over into Ferocious territory now. But still, I didn't think she went to the south. Oh, there's a Tino. Sorry for promising to go questing in you and then just not. Because there's a side quest that like I swear we've done, but I couldn't spot it going through the list again. And it's one that like if we haven't done it, I should be able to find the guy. I know who gives it. We'll save that for later. It only just now occurred to me that Tulin is still with me. Have you been here this entire time on Farosh and Naydra too? Because I did not notice that. Cherry blossom tree by the Heart Lake. Very pretty, very pretty. Anything else new I can think of? I'm struggling. Like, what can I talk about? What can I talk about? This is a bit of old news, but they made a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I quite enjoyed it, but oh shit, I wanted a horn out of scale. Oh well. I quite enjoyed it, but also I'm a bit of a FNAF nerd, and so I'm like definitely like biased in that regard. Actually, we needed 2 Nitro scales, and so that's actually good. Did we not get any Farosh scales? Do you not recharge fast enough? I guess not. Oops. Oh wait, no, because we didn't sort the inventory. Yeah, we have one. Okay. Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. It wasn't like super scary or spooky for a horror movie. It wasn't that like frightening, but like it did feel like a real love letter to the like Chuck E. Cheese corporate parody that they were doing. Animatronics were very impressive. They were done by Jim Henson's Creature Shop, which Jim Henson's stuff does super well. Where I was telling somebody about it like before, and like I like misspoke to hell where I was like, they got Jim Henson to do it, and I was like, wait, no, Jim Henson's dead. It's his Creature Shop they got to do it. Kermit the Frog isn't around anymore. The original voice of Kermit is gone. Oops. That's embarrassing. But you know what? Using necromancy to bring back the greatest puppeteer of all time just for your horror movie would be like a pretty bold move, you know? I'd approve of it. We have little Bocos. Chilling in their little camp underneath the cherry blossom. I wonder if the cherry blossoms, I might have brought this up before, But I know there's like a few like Deku trees, like seeds you plant in like Wind Waker. I'm wondering if these other cherry blossoms are in any way related to the Great Deku Tree of Breath of the Wild, and if a seed is spreading there. Oh, there was a silver in that camp. And no, they're not. I thought that it might have been Los Alphas for a second. The horns were like pointier than I remembered. That one on the right looked a bit pointier and more katana-like. I mean, this would never happen, but watch Nintendo announce. Oh, look, is that the lake where we got the cheese recipe? I think it is. Oh, that's cool. I know they're gonna do this, but watch Nintendo announce like a line of action figures that are for like every single enemy color combination of Tears of the Kingdom. Ooh, actually, because I never did Master Mode in the original Breath of the Wild, and I don't really want to do it here because of how it can affect save files. But that's a boulder, right? Yeah, that's just a rock. I thought that's just a skull. I thought for a second there was a Hinox sleeping right next to a monster camp. That would actually be kind of cool. But on Master Mode, I never really did it in the original Breath of the Wild. But now I'm like curious, what are the gold monster horns like in this one? What's a gold Lionel's horn? I don't think I'm gonna do Master Mode though, because I like having multiple save files, and I like being able to chicken out of a fight halfway through to heal while they don't heal. Plus, it's like I don't know. I feel like the healing mechanic does add legitimate difficulty to Master Mode, but like and like the increased like enemy spawns of like little like floating platforms and shit like that do add extra difficulty. But like the gold tier enemies, like it's just more hits to kill them. It's just more durability off of your weapons. And then, of course, better rewards for killing things in this game, all that. So it's not like as bad as it was in Breath of the Wild, but still kind of a case of like, why should I waste my time? Now that like it both takes more hits and I have to be constantly doing those hits. Why would I bother? Nice little shot of a Tino up here though. Can you see? Oh yeah, there's Zelda's house, the Link's old house. Apparently, like the backyard of Link's house, you are allowed to gallop your horse in, which you normally aren't allowed to do in towns, or at least in the original, this was the case. And so it's like it is literally on the edge of town. It's not just like a little bit of a far out building, but it's like only like part of it is considered a part of a Tino, which is funny. I don't know if the lab is treated in the same way at all. And actually, damn it, the horn's in the way now. I get a good shot. Yeah, look at that. That's very pretty. Sort of spiraling up, with the big slope to lead up to it. It's just a very nice sort of thing. I wonder if it's a repurposed lighthouse, actually. It never really occurred to me before of like, what were these tech labs before they were tech labs? Because it looks like they've been modified like a bit. So I don't know, maybe those were just lighthouses. It would make sense why they're both on the coast then. Oh, the light dragon. We're still like following the light dragon. That's weird. That's crazy. I think because like their paths are different lengths of time. It's not a guarantee that you'd get them both here, but that is a little bit odd that they're so close together. Theoretically, you could ride the light dragon and farm her for parts, and then jump down every so often to farm Naydra a little bit. I don't know if that was intentional. Probably not. It could be though. You never know. I wasn't paying attention to when we got our last horn, so I don't know when the next horn is going to be. I should be like paying more attention to that. Especially since the 10 minutes is accurate because I'm not like pausing all the time anymore. Alright, you two gonna split ways? Wait, where'd you even go? Yeah, you're splitting ways now. Goodbye, Light Dragon. Goodbye, Zelda. Goodbye, Zelda, babe. Have fun in the clouds as a dragon. Dragon these nuts, got him. I mean, I guess another thing I could bring up in Bionicle is I've been debating getting into like mocking for it. I haven't really mocked Bionicles like that often because like I don't have like a complete collection of like the regular action figures, and so buying a bunch of parts for my own custom dudes, I would kind of like want to wait until I've gotten like a better like base collection. But then also, like programs like LDD and Studio don't have that great of a selection of parts for making Bionicle figures, but there are a lot of like part packs that can add in parts. There's a fairy fountain. That's kind of cool. I think that's the one by Dueling Peaks. There are a bunch of like part packs that can add in things like Dueling Peaks. New parts, new masks, new weapons, new armor. The Light Dragon is actually following our path a little bit now, I guess, because she's going to the Kakariko Tower now, I guess. I didn't think that's when she went there, but maybe it is. There are parts that added more Bionicle parts to study out, and so I've been meaning to like go in and make like a Toa self-mock or something like that. I just never have. Because I originally had that thought, like, even before I started Breath of the Wild, and I got so into Breath of the Wild that I just never bothered, and then I just kind of forgot about it. It was like, yeah, I'd like to do that at some point. Oh, you can see the ring ruins from here. Did we need a picture of the ring ruins? I don't think this is going to be a good spot because of, like, the fog. I think it's okay for the whirlpool picture, but I think I'd like to get actually in Kakariko for a picture of the ring ruins for that quest. And a part of me wants to do the picture quests like all in one go and turn them all in one go. But like another part of me is like, I should just like do them when the opportunity arises, you know? Kind of pop in and out for them. It's going to be a lot of warping anyways, but I don't know. I haven't broken my Master Sword in a bit. When did I can't even remember when I upgraded this in comparison to getting the Gleok stat. I don't know how much durability I've used on it. Again, I wish that there was a way to view durability on your weapons, because I don't really want to waste a whole Silver Horrible Horn just grinding it down now, but I also don't want to get into a fight with like a King Gleok and just like not have it, you know? There's Kakariko. Very pretty lights. I guess those are the survey zones above the ring ruins. This is like there's the hill right there between her horns right now. There's the hill where I tried to target her and completely fucking missed a couple streams ago. See a bit of a geoglyph there. I'm gonna head more towards her back now, so we're just prepped for when she enters the bloody hole. I think this is like a good spot because like her hair can catch me. Yeah, Light Dragon does. You know, she's veering off now, but yeah, she went next to the Sheikah Tower. Now she's going like to veer south. I thought that she hit this one at a different point in time. I don't know when I would have assumed though. I assumed between Akala and Lunaria would have made sense, but no. She hits it now, and then she starts veering south. Okay. At least slightly veering south. Is that the Hebrel Labyrinth? I think you see that. I think you can. Or is that the Gerudo one? Oh, it's the Gerudo one. Alright, she's starting to pitch down, so we're about to go in. Actually, interesting that, like, I don't think I've been hit by, like, the balls of energy from any of them so far. Which I heard was, again, like, the video I was watching is, like, a tutorial on how to, like, farm these guys and ride these guys. It mentioned that the orbs would not actually be, like, that big of a problem. But I put on the gear anyway. And they haven't been that big of a problem so far. I don't know what that's about. Very different and interesting shot of the ring ruins here. Not many places you can see it from this angle. Link, you gonna grab it? You gonna grab? Link, come on. Oh, and she just recharged. God damn it. Oh well. Alright, our next horn is gonna be a little bit late. Okay, now I've lost it. Where is it? Oh, now we're like parallel with it. I don't think it's a shame that there's no like upper ring ruin of like where it fell from, because that would have been like super freaking cool. I'm right in view of these freaking guys in the research. Yeah, look, he's looking like right at the chasm and looking right at me. I wonder if he's gonna like comment on that ever. Like, holy shit, dude, you were riding a dragon? Well, I don't know if they can even see the dragons, because there's a lot of people that have mentioned they've heard rumors of the dragons, and it's like, well, if you were really looking for them, you would have seen them by now. It's the big glowing snake in the sky. But I think that there must be some logic of them like hiding themselves from the sights of mortals and the unworthy, because that's what they did with Skyloft and Zonai Skyloft. wonder what the biggest chasm is. It's got to be the one under Hyrule Castle, actually saying that out loud. That is a pretty big one. But I don't know if that one really counts because it's got the building covering up like half of its entrance. Because this is a pretty like wide one. But I think we've seen wider. Just look at the map. Whatever has the most red should be it. Actually, maybe the Death Cauldron. Actually, yeah. Well, no, because like it kind of funnels in, doesn't it? Or does it? The Cauldron in Elden of Death Mountain. I don't know. I did say it's funny though because it's like, oh, they called the Death Mountain like the original Zelda because it was like one of like the hard zones. But then like eventually they just added the Gorons to Death Mountain. They were like the most friendly race in like all of Zelda, and they made their place as comfortable and homely as possible. Sky fog texture looks weird from this angle. And so it's like a super friendly and wholesome place. And then you get to this game and it's like, well, all the lava's cool, and so it's not even like that deadly anymore. It's just a mountain. There's not much death in Death Mountain anymore. It's just a mountain. Ooh, shit, don't fall off now. Don't fall off now, bud. I'm right above the freaking crab. We're right above the freaking crab. It's the crab bus. Alright, I'm going to try and get a little bit more up in the horns this time. Alright. I do want one more horn, but I don't think she's going to recharge, because we're like... Yeah, she's just got to like kind of like loop around this way a little bit more, and we'll be back where we started. Not as like great of sights in the depths when them, but at least it does give you like some implication as to its layout. That's the flux construct we marked, right? Yeah, I think it is. Just like we didn't notice that coming down here and following and tailing her a little bit the first time, but also it was dark the first time, so of course we wouldn't have seen it. I don't know if the shiny weapons respawn or not. I haven't looked that up yet. I really should. So I'd be coming down and raiding and looting them a little bit more if I knew I could get like infinite of them. I guess at this point in the game, like there's not many hard bosses I still have to go in this game, and so now would be the point to start burning through the good weapons of like the final boss hunt and boss push. But I don't prepare for anything. Is that a Frock Zone? Don't know if it is. I mean, it's about the size for one, but it doesn't quite like environmentally look like one.
Are you in the laundry room?
No one's in the laundry room.
Okay.
I mean, this is about the point where you start chasing her, but I'll let her fly the rest of the path. And I think that was I think we're just passing over the tree I built the first rocket platform on. So yeah, Naydra is actually a bit of like a reverse of Farosh. That's interesting. The Farosh spends like a lot of time in the depths, but then kind of rushes through the surface world. Naydra spends a lot of time in the surface world, but then rushes through the depths. And then for Dinral, it's like almost perfect like time between each of them. I don't know if that's intentional or at all.
Where you at, buddy? I just need to get back to my room. Okay, I'll go upstairs.
I don't know if that's intentional or all. If the developers like purposely made it so that their paths. I don't know if that's intentional at all. If the developers like made each of the dragons go about things a little bit different. But maybe it could be though, because if Nydra's supposed to be Zelda, then of course Zelda's going to want to keep. Well, no, Zelda. The White Dragon is Zelda. Naydra is Wisdom, and Wisdom is Zelda. But yeah, if Nydra's supposed to be the spirit of wisdom, it would make sense if she was like watching over the people and keeping track of how everything was going on. But then once you get to an area where you're at risk and where there's not much to learn, you'd want to like pull out a little bit quickly to get back to actually watching over people. But then if Farosh is supposed to be Link and Farosh is supposed to be Courage, then it would make sense that he would want to spend more time in the danger zone around the enemies and the bosses, and that's why he passes over so many of them. But then for Dinral, being Ganon's spirit of power, wanting to have control over anything, then they would spend a lot of time in both locations just to try and spread influence. I don't know if that's intentional or not. It's probably not, but it could be. All right, and we've officially, or have we? Yeah, we've officially like met back up with the path we were at before. Okay, so I think we're gonna call it there. A bit of a shame we didn't get another horn harvest in. That would have been nice, but yeah, we followed both Farosh and Nydra's dragon paths today. I think it's a shame we couldn't fit all three in one stream, but oh well. I think we're going to call it there for now. Next time we're going to do a little bit more caving, well exploration, and side questing. I'll try and get some more specific locations for side quests before we start that, though. So thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.